Hi everyone, welcome to this week weekly market update. So hopefully you guys have been following my weekly market update and benefited from this video as well. So if yes, don't forget to remember to follow me and also share with your friend as well. Remember to like my page as well. So without further ado, let's start on what happened last week that we'll talk about coming week to watch out, and then a couple of shares that I've shared previously. See how it has been performing, and also US dollar is very interesting at the current price is very interesting. We'll share more on the chart as well. So last week we can see that actually market actually closed rate down, actually went down to almost 300, but it uh closed on closed at 177 points, and then S&P was down 0.71% as well. Same goes to Nasdaq, down around 8.7%, 0.87%. So, as we know that last Thursday, right, it's supposed should be a good news because Biden actually proposed on the stimulus package. So it's around like 1,400 to most Americans, and he also wanted to provide um, wanted to raise the minimum wage of $15 per hour, additional funds to them as well. So it's supposed to be a good sign because the package roll out, but ultimately it's just a proposal, right? Because it remains unclear whether Biden able to whether the proposed package able to be welcomed by the Congress or not, as we know that the Congress is right now sharply divided. So it's just a proposal. It's not confirmation yet. But to me, I personally feel that it should, no matter what, the package will be rolled out. It's just that their next concern should be after roll out, where will this money come from? All right, because as we know that Biden wanted to increase company tax, right? So when will this tax implement to those companies as well? So as we know, higher tax will actually affect their company revenue, right? So uh next is that beside this news, next is that on Friday itself, we know that um, US banks, major banks earnings report. So we have a mixtures of earnings reports. As you can see that even for JP Morgan's, right, it beat both estimates better than expected. It beat the revenue, but then it also came down. Mainly because first we know that we are at all-time high, so it's kind of like very sensitive to the bad news. Any negative news will actually fluctuate the market fiercely. So just take note on that. And it's a mixture of earnings report lah. So even though revenue for JP Morgan's, the earning report is good, but for other banks might not be, like Citigroup's, Wells Fargo. Alright, so that's why they dropped even more. Alright, they beat the expectations, but the share fell like more than 6 to 7%, respectively. So next, oil price. So I shared my oil price chart previously. It's actually at the resistance where I say after it break 50, 52, that range. If you have been watching my video, you should know that we are right now at the top of the resistance. So news, what causes the oil is due to the demand, right? When we say that uh, vaccines roll out, COVID cases dropping. So it's a good news because China demand more oil for them to grow, right? For the economy to grow. But right now we can see that China's COVID cases is coming back, especially for the Europe side and for the US side. So um, Friday closing is might be due to the lockdown in the Europe that actually bring up the fear of the weak for demand for the travel and fuel against. So all these cases, right? All these COVID cases is actually one of the main reason that causes the oil price to come down once again lah. And dollar surge, can you see dollar surge? So dollar finish week stronger. Um, why? Mainly, like I previously mentioned, right now is a crucial support. Secondly, is that we must understand that infrastructure growth, right? I shared in my Telegram. I shared in my Telegram public. I said that if you have joined, then congrats. If not, please remember to join in. I shared a couple of things as well. I say that okay, printing dollar might be weakened for currency, but not to forget of the infrastructure plan. All right, it will help to boost the economy. It will help to for the demand of US dollar, and this might actually cause a good support for the dollars itself. All right, so we can take a look. If it cause a good support, right, then uh, that's why dollar actually spike up. So it's not really strong spike, but I'm looking at a very good support at current level. All right, so I'll share with you more on the chart later. Okay, so next thing, for this coming week, right, couple of things to watch out. All right, so this is the infrastructure, not just dollar. All the commodities like copper, like other metals will also continue go even higher. Copper I shared uh, quite long ago. I think I mentioned when Biden come in, definitely there will be a lot of things coming on the infrastructure plan. I can't remember when I shared, if I'm not wrong, should be 8th of November. I say that spending on project like infrastructure should pop up copper demands. So other material like nickel, zinc, aluminiums, all will be also spike up. So if you are a commodities trader, just watch out for that as well. All right, copper has spiked up really quite high. Will it go even higher? The risk reward might not be enticing. So just take note. All right, for this coming week, take note, US market is closed on a Monday due to public holiday. King's birthday, I guess. All right, next thing, on Wednesday, we know that US President Biden will speak. Why? He was sworn in right to the office. Lastly, is the crude oil inventory. All right, so this three things is what I'm concerning and I watch out for. And followed by earnings reports. Earnings report will continue with the remaining banks like Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, and Morgan Stanley Investment Bank. So watch out. It's a mixture of report if you are holding. Ultimately, as you can see that JP Morgan with good report is still come down. But for JP Morgan, right, if you are holding it, just watch out because analysts given a higher profit target due to the better earnings. So I think around 150 plus. So right now, if you are still holding JP Morgan, if you're able to withstand the volatility, then you may continue to hold. All right. Next. Yes, next is actually on this Madrina. So it's a good stock. Like I mentioned last week, right? I point out these stocks is ACB. I say that it's a risky trade. If you are keen, right, you can go into it. That's why we got some good profit from there. Share with the chart later as well. Alright, so join my Telegram group if you haven't. There's many reports coming up. Of course, I'll try to do reports, but I can't really every time paste on the Facebook page. I think sharing here will be quite efficient as well. So remember to follow. So let's go to the chart directly. Alright, I just go to my S&P chart. This is what I did previously. I didn't do any further uh any further drawing. I just want to see what am I looking previously. So previously for S&P chart, right, I say that it's actually this big triangle. All right, as we know, this kind of triangle, right, this type pattern is actually very volatility. I can swing up and down very much, very a lot of movement over here. But unfortunately, right, after it break out, right, it continues to spike even higher. So right now, if you ask me, should I sell or should I hold for S&P 500 or indices, right? Of course, a lot of people, normal trader, retail trader, will continue to short here. Continue to short here. Why? Because they say that it's all-time high. So the profitability of you making money is higher because you see when it come down, when it come right, there's more meat. Am I right to say? So a lot of people will put stop loss here, short here. But not to forget, we are not predicting where the market will head to. Alright, firstly, we look for sign. If you are more on here, we look for sign. Ultimately, this is a uptrend. Are you going to against the uptrend? The major trend is uptrend. Alright, the bad news since February, this COVID, alright, caused the market to come down. Next, market recover. What possibility will cause the market to come down? Alright, so at current stage, I don't see any bad news. Of course, there is a lot of hidden news like who is going to pay the stimulus package, uh, the the $1 trillion debt for the US company, or any war, anything. But we can't anticipate, right? We can't guess what's next. So for me, right, simply I just put uh 3006 after the breakout. After the breakout, 3006 as the first resistance point. All right, we can't find any other point, right? So I will put as 3006 as the first resistance point. If really I will be looking more on the buy side than the sell side. All right, I will wait for the market to drop back, then continue with the trend. All right, because we never know during this period of time what will happen to COVID. Unless today they tell me vaccine is totally useless, even Pfizer, Moderna all come is they found more people dying, then there's a bad news causing the market to drop. Otherwise, I don't see anything. Maybe earnings report, because earnings report coming out will be reflected on what happened throughout this quarter, all the bad news. All right, as you know, throughout this quarter, right, it's like supported by the government. Uh, even for the similar package does include those air flight company as well. So ultimately, if you ask me to short no against the trend, I will not do that. All right, so I won't do that. All right, so next thing we shall be looking at. All right, so we are talking about copper. So let's see how copper performs. Okay, for copper. All right, can you see for copper, 8th of November, somewhere here. Right, somewhere here, I said wait for the pullback to come down, but there's no, don't even have any pullback. It continues to spike higher. So right now, if you ask me, will it be a good sign to enter? Right, I think the risk reward is not very good. All right, after it broke out the recent high. So if let's say you really want to go in, right? So if here is the recent high, so we wait for the market to drop, then we enter somewhere here. All right, so watch out on copper. Infrastructure at the start of the president term, they will try to overpromise sometime, but will they able to deliver is another question. Okay, next thing I'd like to share is actually on the dollar. Yes, so this is what I shared on my Telegram. I even come up with the chart as well. So this is the weekly chart. On the day chart itself, right? Can you see? All right. It's not very high, right? It's not very high significance, but at least what is somewhere supported between 88 to 90, and then the market closed higher, all right, on Friday itself. So based on the weekly chart, you can see, all right, nicely touch 90, go high. Some people say this is a dick cap bounce, anything, but if you are monitoring US dollar, we can see that the support is since 2014. Can you see? 2014. All right. So I mean, subjective to individual, you will never catch the bottom. All right. But if you know this is a good support area, it's good for you to nimble. All right. If you are looking for long term, it's good for you to nimble along the way. Dollar averaging. So watch out. This is what I'm looking for. US dollar. Of course, I did recommend US dollar with Sing dollar. All right. US dollar with Sing dollar. Can you see? It's very identical to US dollar. All right, so this is the area I'm looking to buy in. I'm not sure will it come down or not, so I'm monitoring closely. All right, we don't chase the market. I wait for the market to come to me. Next thing, I did mention on these stocks just now, ACB last week as well. All right, wow, okay, it's too many things. So sorry, hold on for a while. So for ACB, right? For ACB, okay, can you see? Just now you guys can see my Telegram group, right? So, but the thing is that for Telegram group, I have my private and non-private group. All right, for my private group, I did share. I said that on the 11th, which I think on Monday, I said that it's a trade setup. We can actually long at a price of 10.40. Then stop loss, and then the TP is open. Of course, it's anti-trend, but we are riding on the because Biden is coming in. So we are riding on this news. So right now, it's good, but however, you must understand that for this ACB, right? Take note lah, because this industry is not strong. Firstly, it's not strong. All right, there's many news not strong in terms of why. It's because right, this industry like is still not been approved yet. Correct? Whether can they use these drugs or not? So if let's say they able to hit your profit or they able to generate 20 to 30% since you entered, right? Then just take and go. All right, don't expect it to come back to 65, this kind of higher thing. So my profit target I'm looking is between 16 to 18 for these shares, which I recommend on 11th of January. All right, I'm not going to be very greedy on this because company earnings is not good. um we're still waiting for better confirmation of approval. But if let's say you're able to enter and you want to ride until there's see any red candlestick, any bearish trend, then you want to sell, is also okay. In between, remember to continue to move up your stop loss. All right, this is to do your risk management. Okay, next thing I also mentioned on Nicola. All right, as you guys, if you guys have been following me since very long, I say red flag everything. But right now, why I pick up on Nicola is because of the hype of electrical vehicle. All right, a lot of people think that EV is right now at a high price. They will try to look for alternative EV products, EV trucks. But of course, Nicola itself is not. I mean, it's not strong. I'm just using an example. I managed to ride into one of the so-called truck EV as well. You can Google it. I'm not sharing here. It's in my private group. I mean, the entry price is also given. The first day when we enter, it spiked almost 20%. I will share that chart at a later stage, but not right now. Hopefully, I can read from there as well. So, EV truck is good thing. If you manage to enter when the market opened, it went as high as 30%. Can you see that? All right. So, this is the risk you are taking in, and if you are risk averse enough, you should have entered as well. So, next thing I want to share is US oil. Just like I mentioned, for US oil, all right, can you see that? Since I don't know when, right? Since I don't know when, all right, I draw this. So it actually touched towards 50, 52. It touched the first resistance, then it come down, close straight. Of course, if you ask me, will it continue to come down? I will know. But is it a good risk reward to short? Yes. But is there any confirmation sign to short? No yet. All right. So continue to monitor. If you don't mind, you can just short here and put slightly around higher. But ultimately, inventory oil is coming, crude oil inventory is coming, and then we shall see what Biden is going to say. All right. So right now, no confirmation yet. All right. It's just first one point of resistance. All right. Lastly, for today's video, uh, Intel. Intel. All right. I share all this is because interesting on last week happening. So Intel, I say do not enter, right? And then people will hit me. Hey, yeah, follow your video, I didn't enter. But how will I know that they were going to change the CEO? Correct or not? Intel have some changes on their corporate governance, on their board, on their CEO, if I'm not wrong, that causes the market to spike up. But will Intel sustain or not is another news, because usually this kind of news, right, is kind of like short period. It will not last, right? It will not last. Ultimately, it will not last. And this coming week, there will be Intel earning report. So just nice, the market actually went all the way high, closed the previous gap, and come down on the last Friday itself. But how will it perform? You can see there's earnings report on the 20th Jan on Wednesday itself. So if you ask me, will it continue to go higher without any new sales, any new contract? All this is just on speculation. I mean, ultimately, Intel is a good company. I don't say you will continue to come down. All right, I can't say that, but I'm looking for a lower price to enter at that point of time. Even me is looking too long. I like Intel itself. I don't think this company will die off, but I'm looking at a better price. If I miss this boat, so be it. All right. So this is more on Intel. Let me see. All right, that's all about it for this week. So remember to follow my Telegram. Remember to like my page as well. So if there have any latest updated news on the weekday itself, I will share more on the Telegram, and hopefully you guys can write something like that. All right, so that's all for this week. Thank you everyone. Have a nice weekend. Bye bye.